Hi, welcome to the Culinary Cam YouTube channel, and it is spring, which to me means all kinds of salads. So I'm going to share with you the process to make your own homemade salad dressing. We're actually going to make 6 different kinds, and then I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make some exciting spring salads. Now you can buy salad dressing, obviously. This is a salad dressing I have bought. This one's an organic Italian dressing from Trader Joe's. This one is an organic dressing from Whole Foods. And it's easy and it's fast, but if you look at the ingredient list, there's more than 20 ingredients even on these really simple salad dressings. So I'm going to share with you a process where you use an oil and an acid, and you can make tons of your own homemade salad dressings that you know what's in it. Super simple, super fast. So the formula for making a homemade salad dressing is really simple, and different people have different ratios. I like 1 part acid and 2 parts oil, and that's it. So it can be a vinegar, and today I'm going to be using some of these vinegars that I picked up at the Quail and Olive in Carmel Valley. Lots of different kinds of vinegar, and then oil. But you don't have to use vinegar. You can use citrus, fresh lemon, fresh blood orange, and fresh lime. We're gonna make 6 different kinds of salad dressings. I like to do it in a clear jam jar because then I can easily see the bands of how much it is I'm using, and I can adjust. If I'm just dressing a salad for myself at lunchtime, I might do a very, very small batch. If I'm doing a larger vinaigrette for a dinner party, or even just the 4 of us at dinner, I'll use a little bit more. So clear jar and a lid, and you have homemade salad dressing. I'm going to use this winter ambrosia. So this is Quail and Olive's version of sort of an apple cider vinegar. This one is made with apples and pears. You could substitute any kind of apple cider vinegar. And then whatever oil you choose, I'm going to use this one, Tajaska from Quail and Olive. And again, I'm doing a 1:2. That's a 1:1. That is a 1:2. You can do any kind of seasonings. I actually like to keep it really simple, and I just add a pinch of salt and some freshly ground pepper. Put the lid on, and then you just shake it to emulsify it. Now you can do this in a blender or a mini food processor. You can even just do it in a bowl with a whisk, but I like to do it with the jar and the lid because then it's also how I store it before I use it. And then you can give that a taste. And then you can adjust based on if you want more acid, more oil, salt, pepper, whatever you like. So this one is a basic sort of your apple cider vinegar. Put that to the side. I'm going to do one that is a balsamic. So for that, I'm using the Mission Fig Balsamic from Quail and Olive. Same ratio. You're just gonna pour that in. A little bit of salt and pepper, and this one, because I'm actually going to use it to dress a salad that has marinated beef. We'll talk about that later. And there's a little bit of rosemary in that marinade. I'm going to put in some fresh snipped rosemary from our garden. So you can just tear that up, crush it a little bit, or chop it, whatever you prefer. You're just going to put the lid on that and shake it up. So that's your balsamic. Now you'll notice that I am not adding any kind of sweetener. If this salad dressing or this ratio is a little too acidic for you, feel free to add in any sweetener, liquid sweetener, so it dissolves easily. So either maple syrup or honey work really well. Okay, this one doesn't use any vinegar, and it's probably one of my favorite in its simplicity. And it is just lemon and olive oil and a little bit of salt. I'm going to take my acid, and I'm just going to juice that straight into the jar again so I can see my proportions. And if you're particular about the lemon seeds, you can actually strain it. I'm not that particular. And again, so you can see how much acid is in there. I'm going to do double the amount of olive oil. And for this one, I'm using some salt from Big Sur Salts. This is their Gavilan salt, which is kind of their garlic salt. So there's a little bit of garlic in here, as well as the salt from Big Sur, which I love. And then some freshly ground pepper. And shake it up. So I'm I'm having a little fun with these different vinegars that I got at Quill and Olive because I'm going to share with you some exciting spring salads that also have these same flavor profiles. So for this one, I'm using a raspberry basil vinegar, and same thing, 1 to 2. So pour that into your jar. Again, salt and pepper, and then just shake it. This one also doesn't use vinegar. I'm just going to use fresh lime as my acid for this. So I'm going to squeeze that into my jar. So if you got some good information from that, give this video a thumbs up. A pinch of salt and some freshly ground pepper. And then for this one, I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh cilantro from our garden. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to do. It's a little bit funky and not as simple as the other 5 that I've shown you. And my acid is actually soy sauce, which is slightly acidic and very, very salty. I'm going to use soy and a little bit of blood orange. So those together are my acid for this dressing. And then for the oil, I'm actually going to add a little splash of sesame oil to my other oil. And then for added flavor, I'm going to add in some freshly minced garlic and ginger. So it's kind of an Asian feel dressing to the rest of the oil. And because that soy sauce already has a really high salt content, I'm not going to salt this one. You could add pepper, but again, I have the ginger and the garlic. I think there's plenty of flavor in there. So this is just the ginger, the garlic, orange juice, soy sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, and the regular olive oil. And then just shake to emulsify. So now that we have made our homemade salad dressings, I'm going to just put together some of my spring salads and give you a couple of tips. You can buy bag salad, and I will use one in a later salad, but it's so much more economical to buy the head of the lettuce, and then you just pull it apart, rinse it off, and dry it. And you do want to make sure you dry it, because if there's water on the lettuce and you dress it, the dressing is just going to slick right off and you're going to lose all of that flavor. This one's going to be a super simple salad with a red leaf lettuce. And for this, I'm going to use the raspberry vinaigrette that we made. So this was the raspberry basil vinegar from Quill and Olive, and the oil and salt and pepper. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to match that flavor profile with some fresh raspberries. Okay, so you have your leaf. You want to kind of tear them into bite-sized pieces. It's easier to get onto your fork. You can also fold them. But I'm just going to tear these into bite-sized pieces. And then here's another tip on making salads. A lot of people don't like salads because they think they're boring, but I love them. I think they're kind of like a painting in a bowl. You have all these colors, you have different textures. And so to that end, I like to pick ingredients that have varying colors and textures. And so for this one, as I said, I'm doing the raspberries. For any ingredients that you put in your salad that will bruise easily when you toss them, put them on the top, don't put them in the bowl. So for this one, I'm going to put in some carrots, and you could just slice them up, but for added texture and look, I decided to use my peeler and just make little carrot ribbons. And then I have little tiny tomatoes. So those are the ingredients that I'm going to toss, and you can use salad spoons, you can use tongs, you can use your fingers, whatever you're comfortable with. Right before you serve it, you're just going to put the lid back on and shake it up again. And then you're just going to drizzle your dressing into your salad. And it's sort of to your preference. Some people like a little bit lighter dressing, some people like heavier dressing. Your tongs or your hands, however you're going to toss that. And make sure those leaves are nicely coated. So then you can just take your serving plate. Make sure you get all those colors and textures on there. The raspberries bruise, so I don't toss them with the salad, and I would just sort of dot them on the top. I like fresh pepper, so I'm just going to grind some fresh pepper over the top. And there you have a simple green leaf lettuce with a raspberry vinaigrette, fresh raspberries, cherry tomatoes, and carrot ribbons. So I will link to all of these recipes in the description box below, but again, it's just a process, and you can use whatever acid and whatever oil you have, that they'll be linked. And then if you're looking for more salad ideas, we have done a video with 6 different grain bowl salads. So they're a little bit heartier and full entrees, and you can catch that video right here. Definitely click the notification and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
Sweet.